name's Selena Lee, and I'm one of the co-captains of the University of Toronto Concrete Toboggan Design Team. We're a student design team that builds and races a toboggan with concrete skis every year. A lot of people think that the entire toboggan is made out of concrete. That's not true. We have a composite shell, a fully mechanical steering and braking system, and, Johnny, if I could get you up here. I brought a little prop. 4 of these concrete skis. Thank you, Johnny. I believe this is actually one of our models from 1 or 2 years ago. Our skis this year also look like this, but they're fairly heavy, and there are 4 of them. If you want a sense of scale of what our toboggan actually looks like, it's about 6 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 4.5 feet tall, so like a really small car. So every year we build this toboggan and we bring it to race at the Great Northern Concrete Toboggan Race, which hops all around Canada, and we compete against other engineering schools who do the same thing. And we put so much effort and just frankly time into this project. Students invest hundreds, if not thousands, of unpaid labor building and designing the toboggan. The faculty and our sponsors give us thousands of dollars for the construction process, and the students probably lose a few years of their lives due to the combination of chemicals, particles, and stress we encounter throughout the process. So now a question you might have for me is why? Why put all of this money, effort, and time into something that's functionally only going to be raced at this one competition? I mean, couldn't you be using this precious resource to do other things that like actually enrich the undergraduate engineering experience? I mean, toboggans have been around for like, what, 5,000 years, and none of them even use any concrete. This is the textbook definition of over-engineering. What value does this bring? So, and you won't be the first person to ask me this question. Here are some comments from a video of our toboggan that got posted on the r/Toronto subreddit. I'll give you a moment. Most of them are not very positive. And here are some of my personal favorites. Not positive feedback. So the question we're all going to try to answer today is why? Why do we do what we do? Why is concrete toboggan a worthwhile activity? And maybe along the way, we'll try to figure out what makes any activity worthwhile in the first place. So what better place to start than begin? Let's jump back in time all the way back to 1974 at the first Great Northern Concrete Toboggan Race. The first GNCTR was held by the University of Calgary, and it was proposed by the Alberta chapter of the American Concrete Institute. And it started out as a counterpart to the American Concrete Canoe Race, but with a Canadian twist, the twist being snow. And the civil engineering students there at U of A and U of C found it to be a fun and interesting design challenge. Okay, so we do it for fun. I mean, tobogganing is a fun activity, and fun is a great explanation for a lot of human behaviors. We play because it's fun. We ride roller coasters because it's fun. We watch movies because it's fun. And likewise, Concrete Toboggan is a fun design team. Like any team, we will socialize, bond, and joke throughout the year, but we also have spirit built directly into the competition. For example, every year we design our toboggan and our technical exhibition around a certain theme. In the past, we've done bog Olympics, so like toboggan Olympics, kindergarten bog, IKEA bog, submarine bog was last year, and this year we're doing TTC bog, the very same Toronto Transit Commission that is very beloved to the city. And in the competition itself, we trade patches, trade sleeves of our coveralls, dance, sing, play games together, and we cheer for all the other teams as we race. However, fun isn't really enough to explain what we do, why we do what we do. I mean, sure, it's fun, but at the end, there's still a lot of work that we have to go through before we actually see the payoff in competition. Most leisurely activities are fun. Some infrequent activities are fun. We ride roller coasters occasionally. We don't do it all the time, and we definitely don't spend thousands of hours and thousands of dollars trying to make a roller coaster or go to something else. Let's look maybe at the design aspect of it and see what we can find out. So, I messed up. So fun itself is valuable because it's fun. Life is more enjoyable when it's fun. I feel like that's a pretty safe thing to say. Also for us students, it's a great way to de-stress from schoolwork, prevent burnout, we strengthen our social connections, and without getting too philosophical about it, life is better when it's fun. But as I said, that's not the whole story. So over the last few years, we've gone through quite a few iterations of the toboggan. We used to have just a metal roll cage, and at some point we switched to a fully composite carbon fiber shell. We also changed the internal workings of the toboggan. If you see in the 2010 picture at the top left, that was actually a screenshot from a video of our toboggan fully flipping over and launching all the riders off it, because the steering and braking system used to just be one person on the back of the toboggan. So many improvements throughout the years. And with each improvement, each crash, each design failure, we come across a bunch of questions that no one's really thought to ask outside of concrete toboggan. Like, how do we make the skis more slippery against snow, despite them being concrete, which is usually very rough? How do we make a steering system that allows for one single chain and a few sprockets to turn a 300-pound toboggan just from rider input? How do we make concrete for the skis that won't shatter and explode on the hill when we actually try to ride it? So every year we try to solve these issues, and we start with the same process overall. We generate ideas, we make conceptual designs, and we iterate and redesign parts until we're happy with the result. This is the standard engineering process that we're taught in school. And along the way, we answer these questions mostly through ourselves. We look at papers, but we also do our own tests. We guesstimate to the best of our abilities, and we do the best with the information we have. And I see this kind of as an exercise in creativity. It's a way to force your brain to think about things differently and make estimations, which is pretty useful in engineering work later in life. Aside from the practical applications, we also teach our students a lot of soft skills just by being on the team. We do teamwork, communication, time management, budgeting, and leadership, all on a daily basis in order to keep the club running. We also have students who do important we also have students that do sponsorship work and outreach for us, which are essential to keep the club afloat. And on top of all this, we have the practical applications like power tools, concrete mixing, computer-aided design, engineering design process as a whole. So, and here are some pictures of different construction methods that we have and simulations from our design process. So this is a valuable learning opportunity. We have the career relevant knowledge, like softwares, the processes of fabrication and design, and also the creativity that comes with asking and answering those questions. And we have the soft and transferable skills, like teamwork, leadership, and time management, that can be applied to any area of life or any field of study. So I feel like this is a pretty compelling argument for why concrete toboggan is valuable. We have fun while doing it, we learn while doing it, and we can use that knowledge in other areas of our life. And from this, I'd like to argue that any activity is valuable if you have fun while doing it, you learn something from it, and you can apply that knowledge elsewhere, even if you're not a University of Toronto student with access to money, power tools, and concrete. And from this, I would urge you to not fall into the trap of discounting certain activities because they seem silly or not worthwhile on a surface level, like concrete toboggan. I mean, if concrete toboggan can be a worthwhile activity, then that sets the bar pretty low for other activities you can engage in. There are so many hobbies, passions, and interests you can spend your time on that are incredibly enriching if you give them a shot. I think among young people, especially students, we have a tendency to gravitate towards things that make us look good. Like, we want to be a better candidate, and we want to beef up our resume. We want to apply to a certain post-secondary education program, and we overlook a lot of the activities that might bring joy and learning. I experienced this myself in high school, giving up pursuits like arts and sports to focus on more worthwhile activities that were more academic or professional development oriented. And I urge you to not fall into this trap. I bet a lot of you, like me, have wanted to get into something like writing or fiber arts or musical theater or dancing, and you didn't do it because you could be spending your time on something more valuable. But are these activities not also valuable for the fun they bring? For the creativity, teamwork, critical thinking, and other skills they may bring to your life? Maybe you could use your knowledge to express an academic concept better, or show that you're a better candidate because you're passionate about something, or you use your craft to form professional connections. There are so many potential skill sets in so many activities you could choose if you just know where to look. So, Concrete Toboggan has taught me to reevaluate my expectations for what a worthwhile activity looks like, and I hope it can do the same for you. So my parting advice to you is, before you stop or reconsider or start an activity, ask yourself the following. 1, is it fun for me? 2, do I learn anything from it? And 3, can I apply what I've learned elsewhere? And if the answer to all of these 3 is yes, why wouldn't it be worthwhile? Go for it. Thank you.